Imagine a world where you only need SketchUp, V-Ray, and modeling skills to have a successful business. Well, that doesn't exist. SketchUp can't run a whole business, but these 5 tools, which are free by the way, can. Hello designers, welcome back if you already subscribed, and welcome here if you're new. A quick word before we start this video. We have 57 videos on this channel and almost 100 plus articles on my website. So, I feel like I've said everything I need to say about modeling and rendering using SketchUp and V-Ray, along with some other tools. Now it's time to look at the bigger picture, which is whole projects. Ravenor survived 12 years by evolving, and this is that same instinct and not a break from it. If you want to be part of the journey, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help the channel and me. Now, let's take a look at our first tool. The first tool, and honestly it might be doing more work in my business than SketchUp itself, is Canva. If you've only used it for a quick Instagram graphic, you are massively underselling this thing. It is a one-stop shop for marketing, branding, and presentation. Branded documents, portfolios, social media, invoices, all in one place, all with your actual brand colors and fonts locked in so you're not reinventing the look every single time. And here's the real reason it's on this list. It is a lifesaver. I don't have to open Photoshop or Illustrator for every little thing anymore. Between the templates and the sheer range of tools, it's just so much faster to go from blank page to something client-ready. The free version has more than enough features, and the yearly subscription is a fraction of the other apps with similar features. Now, the feature I love about Canva more than anything is the live embed. I can embed anything using a link and it will be automatically updated if I ever edit or modify it. This includes multi-page designs too. For example, I like to embed Canva documents and graphics into my Notion database because it is just so easy and intuitive. Now, speaking of Notion, it is number 2 on our list. This highly customizable app has enabled me to create my own custom project management dashboard for free. I can use it on my laptop while working and also on my tablet and phone when I'm on the go. Let's take the Pages feature for example here. It helps me create a section in the dashboard to log the project scope and deliverables. I use blocks of text to write the scope as per contract, and the Tables feature logs in the deliverables with status, due date, category, and even linking relevant meetings. I also use this dashboard to track the project's budget and actual versus estimated cost. Each item has a quantity, estimated cost, actual cost, a date of delivery or completion, a category, status, supplier, image link, and notes. What I'm proud of is the meeting notes section. Each meeting gets its own page with a date, meeting type, stakeholders present, summary, and action items that can be linked to deliverables. Of course, everything you're seeing right now on the screen is just a template that I created based on a real project and not something that is in Notion itself. Oh, one more thing I love about Notion is that it has a separate calendar app that is equally intuitive. I can create tasks with a couple of clicks, literally. I can even choose the status of the task I'm adding in based on what dashboard the calendar is linked to. In my case, it's my website's calendar we're seeing here. Now, back to the dashboard. If you want to give this a try or just curious to browse, it is free on my website. And I'd like to think I have every aspect of running an interior design project added in, including FF&E, a risk tracker, and a database to log files and revisions. It is also versatile enough to be used whether you're offering design-only services or a design and build like I do. Notion is free to use, and my dashboard can be easily copied to your account with a single button. Now, next on the list is another versatile app that I use mainly on my tablet, and it's Planner 5D. It is actually a pretty good drafting app that supports project documents like photos and mood boards, but also enables you to create 2D plans in literal minutes. For example, I helped my mother brainstorm and come up with 3 possible layouts for her kitchen add-on in a video call that lasted around 40 minutes. 3 layouts. It is also very intuitive on a touchscreen, easy to make changes and to switch to a 3D layout. You can pan, zoom, rotate your model to preview, and then instantly switch back to 2D again for easier drafting. A premium feature that I find worth my money is exporting either a 2D plan or a 3D model that I can later import into SketchUp. Forgot that you can use that app horizontally as well. Now, if you don't feel like paying for extra features, you can export an image that can later be imported into SketchUp and turned into a model. And I have a tutorial for that, by the way. An additional premium feature is that you can get cloud renders of models, but personally for me, it's not really worth it. Oh, this app is not just for tablets and phones. You can use it on your laptop or computer via the browser. You have access to the same features as the app, plus a few extra. For example, I find that uploading DWG files, images, or screenshots of plans via the browser to be easier and faster. They later turn into files you can edit in the app. Using a mouse, the controls are pretty similar to SketchUp. With right-clicking objects opens a menu to edit the object. Also easier in a browser is that you can switch to a 3D view, add more floors, enable or disable specific features, adjust dimensions, add in a thumbnail, and of course export directly to your computer. Now let's import this layout to SketchUp, because why not? You get two versions of a plan. Always go for the one not scaled to an A4, since it is the most accurate to scale version in SketchUp. And there we go, the imported layout. Now to check the scale. Yep, 100mm is the actual wall thickness I used in the planner app. This draft is ready to be turned into a final design. Speaking of layouts and final designs, next on our list is layout. Yes, Trimble layout. I know this one's cheating a little because it's not separate from SketchUp, but if you've never opened it, it's the documentation half of SketchUp Pro that most designers never touch. Here's the thing that makes it worth its own spot on this list. When you import anything into a layout page, even if it's a DWG file, it still remains editable. You can pan, zoom, orbit, and adjust what you just imported without leaving the app. Now, if you're importing from SketchUp, it's best if you create scenes. This way you can use multiple views based on how you're constructing your document. You can of course still pan, zoom, and orbit your imported model view, but having your scenes ready and just switching between them through this interface is much faster. And worth noting that this link is a live one. As in, if you ever edit the DWG or SketchUp file, it will be updated in layout. Nifty, huh? If you're finding this helpful, please like the video, subscribe if you aren't, and let me know which of these tools you already use. A bonus feature to be used with SketchUp is the Generate Report option. You can pull a component list straight out of your model and turn it into an FF&E schedule or an MEP table without retyping a single row. Of course, this only comes in handy if you organize your model and name your components and textures. You can then export this report as an Excel sheet, and of course you can always customize what your report contains based on what you'll use it for. You can then import that report or table right into layout. You can choose the cells to import from that CSV sheet, also edit, move, and resize the table to fit your purpose as well. Honestly, I wish I dove into layout as early as my uni days. It would have made things so much easier. But keep in mind that the more items you add into layout, the bigger the exported PDF file is going to be. That's why the next tool is something you're going to need: Google Drive. Again, I know, a cloud app. Really? Well, yes. Besides the usual you might expect from a cloud app, which is linking devices to be backed up and organizing your files into folders, the feature I love the most, after the 15 gigs of free storage of course, is projects. It's like a smarter file management system where you create a project, assign files to this project, doesn't matter what folders they're in, then you can use Gemini to talk with the project. This applies to the contents of the file too. You don't have to manually go through blocks of text or a horde of images to find something specific. You can also link other Google products like Gmail and also go through the project's history. An obvious bonus feature is being able to access your files anywhere and on any device, but also embedding files from Drive straight to your Notion dashboard. It's just as easy as copying and pasting the link to a file or browsing the file yourself if you don't have the link, right from inside Notion. Using just 5 tools, I have created the perfect ecosystem to manage all my projects, even more than one at the same time, whether I'm at my laptop or on the go, and without having to pay exorbitant fees and subscriptions. But wait, we're not done yet. The final bonus tool I have here today that completes basically this whole ecosystem is Trimble Connect. It's another tool provided by SketchUp that not many use. I can create folders to organize my models and then access these files through the free Trimble Connect app on my phone or tablet. I use Connect to basically upload my SketchUp models and access them from my tablet while on site or when meeting with a client, contractor, or supplier. Of course, I can rotate, pan, zoom, and move around my model. I also have a lot of access to a lot of handy features, settings, and model info. A couple of other nifty features that are available in the app is that I can attach to-dos to the model, pre-save 2D and 3D views, and also invite others to view and collaborate. I can organize them into groups and assign roles, either a user or an admin, which basically means an invitee can either view only or be able to do more like modify. So that's it for today's video. 5 basic tools plus a bonus that will be the greatest help you can ever get in managing a project without spending anything. They are all compatible and can work together one way or the other, and they are all portable and can be used on laptops, phones, and tablets, whether you use Apple iOS, macOS, Windows, or Android. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, leave a comment and let me know if you'll give this a try or if you already have your own ecosystem. I read and reply every single comment, and genuinely I am curious to know. Thank you for watching Amazing Humans. Until next time.